So you wanna be a picture book writer, then you gotta write picture books. And you're gonna need a bucket load of bright ideas for titles, plots, and hooks. If you're partial to prose or you're raring to rhyme, then repeat after me. It's a challenge, but I'm gonna tackle each story 1 month at a time with 12 by 12.
Welcome to this month's 12 by 12 book chat. We are so excited to have Debbie Zapata here, who is going to talk to us about her debut picture book, Up and Adam. I feel like tonight's chat is just going to be very joyful, not only because of the book, but because Debbie herself is such a delight. I feel so fortunate to have her with us tonight. Debbie is someone I've actually met in real life. We pre-pandemic attended a couple writing barn intensives together. She is from Austin and she loves writing books for kids that have heart and humor. She has lived in many places and was a international programs director, and she also has a master in social work and works as a counselor as well as being an author.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the warm welcome. I'd like to share the story with you, and I'm really excited for anyone who hasn't had a chance to hear the story. I think that's what really opens my heart the most, is introducing Up and Adam to new friends. So I'm so excited you're here tonight with us. Every morning, Up and Adam had a routine. Adam got dressed, Up made the bed. Adam lined up cups, spoons, and bowls, counting 1, 2, 3. And Up's dog food always landed in a perfect pile in the dish. Today, Mom and Dad were huddled in front of the TV. The news showed images of the big storm from last week. Adam thought about that dark day he and Up had hidden as the wind whipped, thunder rumbled, and rain poured. A familiar voice came from the TV. It was Madam Mayor. Good morning, Portville. I'm happy to report that the storm recovery is going well, but as there's more to do. By coming together and looking out for one another, I know we can get there. Now it's time to get to work. Up and Adam. Did Madam Mayor just tell Up and Adam to get to work? It sure sounded like it. Adam turned to Up. We can help. Up jumped into the wagon and they set off to check on their favorite places. Crack, crack, crack. Sticks snapped under the wheels. Adam said, we can help. They picked up big sticks and little sticks and added them to the pile. Up yipped and Adam hummed as they cleared the sidewalk. When they were done, Adam smiled. Up smiled too. When they got to the school, Adam spotted Mr. Janitor. Rattle, rattle, rattle. He was cleaning up toys scattered by the storm. Adam gave him a great big smile. Hi, hi, he said. We can help. Adam parked the tricycles, Up rolled the balls. When they were done, Adam smiled and waved goodbye. Mr. Janitor smiled too.
How many manuscripts did you have ready when you were querying? And I know, because we've had James as our featured agent, that he really does like to see several. So
yes. And I had take picture book 1 and picture book 2 through the writing barn. I was doing 12 by 12. So I was definitely sort of in the community of be brave, just get the words on the paper. And so by the time I was showing them to an agent, I definitely showed up to, I would say, 5.
Yeah.
And I think what James definitely would say, and I think probably most agents would, is we're looking for that relationship that's going to keep growing. It's a slow business. You're not going to switch your agent in a year or two, hopefully that when that first one happens, it's a good fit, and it's a fit that can keep growing. Like all relationships, it can keep growing. So there were some things that were more humorous. There were some things that were more quiet, all fiction. And I'm not really a rhymer. So they were all non-rhyming, more prose writing. I've done nonfiction. I love nonfiction because I love researching, and I love bios because I love people's lives and their stories. And just having somebody who believes in your writing and knows if you need to work on a manuscript for a while, it takes the time that it takes. And I think my editor felt that way. I know a lot of pressure is always there to 500 words or less. And some people want it to even be 300 words or 200 words. And I love that about my editor when we were like really making some big changes was use the words you need. Later, we can go back and shave stuff, move stuff. And if we decide it's doesn't need those words at the end, but get the story out. Yeah. And I think to have an agent who tells you that, to have 12 by 12 tell you that, to have editors that tell you that, I feel like for me, that's the right road because I'm very visual. And so a lot of times for me, the words are showing in a way the story because I'm seeing it in my head, but I'm not an artist. So by the time the artist is doing illustrations, if there's something we don't need, then we don't need it there.
That's interesting. I'm sorry. Now I'm being, now I'm being blinded by the sun, but I had to learn that. I had to learn to be more visual in my thinking. So my first drafts were all full of description and heavy-handedness and tons of art notes. And so that's a gift that you had right there from the beginning, that if you can see things like a movie, then it helps you to pull back what can be shown in the illustrations. And it shows in this book, in the writing. But the other thing, though, that I wanted to say is that the quality of the writing definitely, as you said, it influences the approach that the illustrator will take. So I think you're absolutely right that even though you didn't have an art note saying, get this close up on Adam, the illustrator felt that because of the way that you wrote the character. And so as authors, when I think for some, it's a struggle, like in the beginning to have to let go of whatever your vision is. But I think we have more influence in our words than we think we do. And in fact, when you leave that room, that's going to make it even more powerful because you're allowing the illustrator to react emotionally, and that puts that emotion into the illustrations.
And I have another perfect picture to show exactly what you just said, Julie. And it was Yang Ling and I talking together and her asking her what her favorite, we asked each other, what is your favorite spread? And she told me this page was her favorite, where they show up at the boardwalk. And she actually helped me resonate emotionally with something I didn't even realize, because I said, they baked batch after batch of chocolate chip cookies, loaded up the wagon. I'm almost thinking kind of more of the, here we go, they're all enthusiastic kind of feeling. And then I put, they headed to the boardwalk, Portville's favorite gathering place. Now she could have had that already with all the people, but it was just them. And what is so beautiful about this is they had this idea of how their little idea is going to help. Then they had to do the step of actually doing the idea and being vulnerable and standing there and not know if people were going to show up. Are they going to take their cookie? Are they going to smile back? Or like, they're just kidding a dog, hanging out with some cookies. But that when she told me that, I had heart resonating of how much we all feel like every day there's one more thing. It wasn't just a pandemic. It wasn't just, it's just like now there's a war, now there's this, now there's that. And yet we think, okay, I want to do something. But then oftentimes we think, you know, whatever, I'm going to collect books and take them to wherever, or I'm going to go to a school and drop off some flowers, or whatever it is somebody wants to do. They think, but it's not enough, so I won't do it. But when everybody does that small piece, it is enough. Like it's enough that we all feel that human connection, and that in the end, that's really what matters.
Do it together, so never you fear. It's a handy little way to help you kick into gear. You're amazing, exciting. Look out, 'cause you're writing 12 by 12. 12 manuscripts. 12 by 12. 12 picture books. 12 by 12.